There we go. Get that out of the way right away. We're going to do things a little different today. It's a double makeup day. I'm taking my vitamins. I've been on this vitamin kick to try to regulate my attitude problem. Woo! I tell you what, at this age, you don't know who you're waking up to. Iron. I hate swallowing pills. Okay. Got my iron supplement in, all the multis. Anyways, hello Dana, happy Monday. Spring break is over for me. Oh, I need help. I took my kids to this place called, and you can Google it. It's a park. I might have talked about it last Monday because I was taking them the next day. It's called the Enchanted Forest. It's in Oregon. It's in Salem. And you can see it from the highway. You can see the highway from the 2 rides it has. And it is like buying Disney tickets on Temu. Anyways, I knew what this was. It's one of those Oregonian rite of passages. Nobody flies here to go, okay? It's one of those things like, oh, we're here, look. Like if you're from out of town, you might go there because, I don't know, it looks like a little village, like an old Swiss village, storybook village tucked into some trees, and it kind of peeks out of the trees from the highway. So you might be like, oh, what's that? And then you'll look it up and then go. But if you're from Oregon, it's one of those things you have to go to once in your life. Sorry, dirty hair, tried to curl it for you guys. But it's one of those things you have to go to at least once if you're from Oregon or you're just not an Oregonian. I've gone, when I was little, I took my son there when he was little, and now I've taken my girls there. Anyways, I sent, my husband didn't get to go because he had to work, but I was like, we gotta plan a Disney trip. Good morning, Alice. You might be able to help me. I need Californians' help today. I told my husband after we got back, because it was built in the 70s. Good morning, Luann. And it has been wonderfully maintained, okay? It's very storybook, Humpty Dumpty. You've got the old man that lived on a crooked hill, or the crooked man, okay? It's got all those little old fables. I told my husband, I go, we have to plan a Disney trip because we cannot let our girls think that this is the happiest place on earth. It's been maintained really well. I thought I was gonna die on one of the 3, but only 2 available roller coasters. It went from like, you know, the fun screams to the, oh God, I might die screams. Anyways, I told him, I go, we have to, they can't think this is it. Hello, Addison. And here's where we're stuck. We were looking up Disney stuff last night because we were like, okay, let's go. We have to go in the off season. Hello, Shelly. Hello. What is my talent? I don't have a talent. I'm a mom. My talent is my kids lived to this point so far. I've successfully raised one, so that's my talent. Good morning, Susan and Shelly. Oh, I'm so glad I'm seeing my people. Anyways, we were looking up at Disney, and you buy tickets. Now, when I took my son when he was 9, now he is 24. I took him when he was 9, and you just bought tickets and went. You got an early access day. You just went. I have a hair, and it's bugging me. Apparently now, I'm going to start my eye prep. We're going to do makeup. And we're not doing Saint. I wanted to try something, but I'm going to do my eye makeup. It's a double makeup day, so I'm going to redo it after this. I saw something, and so we're going to do this. But we're going to do our makeup, so that's what we're here for. The talent today is makeup. And you buy your Disney tickets now, and then you have to make a reservation to go. I thought you just bought a ticket and went in. Like, hey, we've got tickets for this specific week, and you just go. Apparently you have to make a reservation now. And we're looking at October because my husband is an asphalt man, and you can't pave roads in the rain, which means we don't do a lot of summer trips. We do off-season trips. So we're ski family. Oh, I'm a den mom. I have this hair, and I see it. I need a mirror. Hello, Ruby. How are you? I have a hair in my sights, or I don't know. It's like having that It's on my nose. Oh my God, this is driving me crazy. Okay. Go to SeaWorld. I am not a big, I want to go to SeaWorld. We have an aquarium here. We have Keiko the whale here. Remember Keiko the whale? Who remembers Keiko the whale? Maybe I'm just seeing a nose shine. I've been very shiny lately. Anyway, I haven't done SeaWorld. I feel sad watching all those shows, so I don't want to knock it. I'm not going to yuck it yum. I feel so bad. This hair is just, what is that in my vision right here? Anyway, who knows about this whole Disney tickets and making a reservation to go in? Because I was looking up on my bucket list of life. I've never gotten to do this, going to Disneyland as a kid myself, taking my son to Disney. Every time I go through the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, you see those people. And you see those people eating on the patio. And I'm like, I want to eat on that patio. I've never gotten to. It's on my bucket list of like, I want to eat on that patio. And I found out you can make reservations, but they recommend, you know, make them as early as you're allowed. Well, I was looking it up just to see what they recommend for time, and you need your reservation number. Like, what's a reservation number? What is a reservation number? So then my husband was looking them up last night. He goes, I don't know if this is in the cards for us. And I was like, okay, I haven't been in a long time, so I don't know the rules anymore. But I was like, okay, so I guess we're not going to go. Okay. Little bummed, but it's not the end of the world. There's bigger things to worry about. Anyways, so he tells me you have to have a reservation and there's none available for October. I was like, okay. If anybody here is familiar with Disney, I've already messaged one friend. I haven't been in years either. And my son doesn't have kids, thank goodness. I thank him every birthday. Thank you for turning another year older and not making me a mama. Because I'm going to be mama. I like those old, everybody's like Mimi, Gigi, Goo Goo Gaga. I don't know what everybody is, but I want to be a mama because nobody uses mama anymore. So if we're in a crowd and you hear mama, maybe one or two will turn around. Anyway, I am just curious how this works. I've messaged one of my friends. Alice knows I messaged my friend Brittany, our friend Brittany, and I'm waiting for the deal, but I'm just curious, what is this reservation? I mean, maybe I get it from COVID, but it ain't that time now. So do we need reservations still? I want to eat at the Pirates of the Caribbean Blue Bayou restaurant. Like, I will. My kids will dress up as pirates. I might too, and I'll throw my husband an eye patch because he's gonna dress up. Anyways, come on. Okay, let's play with some pigments real quick, and then we're gonna dig into. I'm gonna shut up about Disney, so tell me all the things, and I'll shut up about it. It's not gonna be all Disney all day today. Okay. I was watching the Instagram. I don't post on Instagram anymore. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm sorry. It's just I had a couple of weird things happen, so I just stopped. I have this, I have Facebook. I'll be okay. I don't need Instagram. Anyways, I was watching the Instagram and I saw this gal, I'm not going to say who, was doing saint makeup on one side and then aging traditional makeup on the other. But I was watching the way she was applying her makeup. And here's where it bothers me when you do the comparing. I don't mind doing the half faces of like old, new, traditional. I love it. It's a really great concept. Last year, he didn't mention make a reservation. Okay, they had a blast. See, that's why I keep telling my husband. Okay, so she was doing her makeup with Saint, and I noticed the way she applied was a lot like the way I apply. We get really particular and we're doing the things. But then she went and she was doing the other side in a more aging way. The eyeliner and the way she winged her eyeliner over here just was very, gets the little brush out and she's just like doing the things. But then she'd come over here and she's like, I don't like when people haphazardly do the makeup in a way that they're trying to make it look bad. I don't think any of us ever did our makeup in our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, however old we are, you'll always get better at makeup the more you wear it. The way I did my saint at the beginning is different than the way I wear my saint now. The way I did my makeup in my 20s isn't how I did it in my 30s. It's not how I did it in my teens. The way I do my makeup is ever evolving, but nobody ever haphazardly threw their makeup on. We all tried our best, and watching her be purposeful here and haphazard over here, just really, I was like, we all did our best. And I always liked my makeup. I'm going to take Cowboy Pigment. I'm going to be using Cowboy Pigment, and I'm going to be using Santa Fe really quick. But the way we did our makeup, we still did our best to have it look good, to feel good. Okay, I'm just putting this kind of on my lid, and then I'm going to bring it up and out. I saw this method. This is not something I've made up myself. I'm just kind of winging it. So now I'm bringing this way up here because I have a super droop. I can't call myself hooded. It really is a problem for some people for me to say I'm hooded, because from the front I'm not. I just have a super droop. So I'm going to start titling my eye videos the super droop method, because I have a super droop right here, but from this direction I look like I'm not hooded. I'm not changing my brows, my lids. You see? Super droop. Anyways, taking that cowboy all over the lid. So I wanted to show two traditional makeups. I'm gonna take my Perfect 10 with Beauty Society that I like. I do prefer Saints coverage over that, but I'm going to take the Beauty Society Perfect 10, which is hydrating. I love it. It's a light to medium coverage. I'm going to use, on the other side, a traditional form of makeup. I'm going to be using the Catrice, because it's the most, I don't have the Estee Lauder. It's similar in tone also, because I have my favorite, which is the Charlotte Tilbury, is another favorite of mine. However, it's too dark, and I want same tones, because that's how it is. So I'm going to take the Catrice on this side. I'm going to do Tarte Shape Tape, and then I'm going to use the Incognito. It's because of the I know, but honestly, I want to go in October. 1, it's the slow season for my husband. 2, it'll be my daughter's birthday. And 3, it has Halloween. And I think I don't do Halloween here, so if we go Disney and they do it for me, even better. But we're going to go at the beginning of October. Hopefully that will be okay. Anyways, putting Cowboy on my super droop. But I thought I'm going to be not haphazard over here with my makeup, but I just wanted to show, because there's been a lot of things that have happened over the last week, and mainly in my makeup group. I share the way I share. Everybody gets to share in when you have a group, like a makeup group, or a platform you're sharing on, the way I share on YouTube. I'm going to share the way I want to share, that's true as to who I am. Alice, amazing. You got to go watch her stuff. The way she brightens is beautiful. Follow her, subscribe to her. She has good stuff. So the way people share on their platforms is true to who they are. The way Alice shares, the way you see Brittany Parker. A lot of people here follow Brittany Parker. She hasn't shared in a while, and I've been really on her ass about it. But the way people share is true to who they are. I'm sharing the way I want to be, who I am to you, so that you could see who I am. Like, who am I? Let me show you. Because that's it. I could tell you who I am, but who I show you I am is who I am. And that's everybody. Okay? The way, what somebody says they do and what they actually do, you've got to look at what they show you, not what they say. You could be sorry. I used to tell my son this all the time. I'm so sick of sorry. Be better. Show me who you are. Show me you're better. Show me what you're saying, okay? She did go MIA. I talked to her this morning. Truth be told, she's a busy woman. Baseball season. She's got like a bazillion kids. Not a bazillion, because she's got kids and they do baseball. So yes, Susan, that's the way it should be. I don't like, now I come from a history where we all have our stuff, right? We all have our stuff. I'm going to go into Santa Fe now. I'm pressing into a dense, and I want to make this darker. So I'm going to go make my brush wet in a minute. Okay, so this is Santa Fe on top of Cowboy. All right, so I don't like to be told what to do. It's a problem for me. We all have our problems. I really don't like to be told what to do. I also, when I share in my group, I don't like when somebody tries to tell me how I should be posting, what I should be posting, the kinds of pictures that would have been a better option for me. I have a really hard time with that. And in the last week, I don't want to say it's a lot, negativity is stickier than positivity. Be clear. Like, you can see 50 good comments and one's extra sticky. One bad comment can really trip your trigger. And so when somebody does that, I never engage in comments. I don't like popcorn debating. You know what a popcorn debate is? You know, when you see something on the internet and then you know the comment section is going to be good, so you grab your popcorn and go dive into the comments. I don't do it. I do delete when something becomes a debate, whether it's between me and someone or between two people. I will delete it, and I do private message them and say, hey, I don't do popcorn debates on my feed. It's a blanket statement I used on everybody that does it. It's not a personal thing, but to them it probably is, because they don't know I'm doing that to other people that might do it. I like a positive group. I don't mind keeping negative things. If somebody says like, hey, I don't like those warm tones, okay, that's good to know. Still gonna share it because other people do. But it's not for me to judge or any of that stuff. I'm not gonna yuck their yum. It's not for them, it's not for them, and they can move on. I never understood the people, and it happens here all the time, I've been deleting them as they've been popping in, the people who feel the need to come in and let us know something we weren't asking. All right, we're gonna go into Juniper as an eyeliner. I was gonna wet my brush, but this is actually looking really nice. I'm gonna use Juniper, and I'm gonna use the Etch brush. I'm gonna go in on the small end with it wet. I'm kind of wanting to focus more on my face today, and I'm trying to dig through, but we know how I chat way too damn much. Anyways, I thought it was a good conversation to have here, and I'll probably have it in my Facebook group tomorrow. So if you want to be entertained, please come to my live. I go live every first of the month in my Facebook group. As long as you're a girl, you're in. If you're a boy, you're not in. My group, my rules. I keep it private because it's just a safe space. Okay, we're going in to Juniper. It's a really nice dark green, and I'm wearing pink, and you can do that. And we're just going to use this as a liner up top, just like that. Anyways, I don't like being told what to do, in a nutshell, and I just share things that bring me joy. And how I choose to share a skincare line, I think makeup is skincare, and I'm going to show that. And that's where I thought, you know what, this would be a really good live, is to share that, because you can't make a powder a liquid, you can't make a liquid a cream, and you can't make a cream a powder. So I thought I would talk about how I think makeup is skincare, because it is something that affects the life of your skin. And look at how pretty this green is. These pigments are so stunning, okay? Nobody likes being told what to do. If you've been desperate, like if you've been, I don't know how to say this the right way, I'll just say it the way it happened with me. If you've been in an abusive relationship where someone is just over you and talking to you, there's this restriction in your insides that when you get told what to do, it binds you up and rips you apart a little bit. That's how it is for me on my insides when when I feel like I'm being controlled or told what to do. I get bound up and restricted, and it makes me feel like I'm gonna rip apart, and I just am trying to crawl out of my own skin when it happens. Just me? I don't know. But I try to go and look at things from someone else's perspective with everything. It makes me want to do the opposite too, but it also makes me want to be seen more. I don't know if it makes me want to do the opposite. It makes me want them to see I always try to look at something from someone else's point of view when that's happening. And I just want to be seen more. I want you to see my version of it more. And some people, it's just not in them. And it doesn't make them a bad person, but it just doesn't make them available to you. Does that make sense? And so I've been reading the Let Them book, and I love it and I hate it. I can let someone to a point. But I just really want to be seen, like see me in what I'm saying, see me and what I want. Okay, I'm gonna put some mascara. Oh, I need a little bit of eyeliner. I did it. I ran out of my gel Revant, and I went and I got my Maybelline Tattoo Studio, and you know what happened? I put it on, and I realized why I love it more. I missed it. I didn't even know I missed it until it went on, and I was like, oh, I don't do Halloween makeup. I'm not good at makeup that way. I'm basic B, you know? I can do basic makeup. I can do basic Halloween makeup, which just means I might throw glitter on. But I can't do, I'm not good at Halloween makeup. That's a talent that I don't have. Ugh. But I could wear a red lip and black eyeshadow. That's the extent of my Halloween makeup. That's it. The end. All right, putting this on, I just feel like it defines, this just goes on so well. All right, and I'm just gonna fill in between my lashes and that green right here. There we go. All right, so I just thought we would do today, I'm gonna do my due diligence. I'm gonna do my best with a mattifying, popular makeup, okay? But I'm gonna show the way that just because it's cream, that it's so hard to say this. When you have maturing skin, your makeup matters. And what you did when you were a teen is not this, in the 20s, is not the same as what you can do in your 30s or 40s. I'm 44. I can't do my makeup the same. I've got more fine lines. I've got wrinkles. I've got smile lines. I've got forehead lines. I've got kids, guys. Got kids. It's like I can't wear a bikini. Got kids. Got kids. Got 3 kids, so bikinis are not in my department right now. Some people it is. Good for them. Good for them. Not gonna yuck the yum. Okay. I'd love to be a bikini woman, but I can't. Okay, putting this on, and we're just gonna talk about my whys on my skin type. And I also struggle with when I share in my Facebook group, which is something I do more there than here because it's harder to share that kind of stuff here. I don't know who sees, there's an area on YouTube where you can see somebody's just like, almost like a Facebook feed. I could post pictures and comments and that kind of thing. I don't know who actually sees that, which is why I don't share there very often. Anyways, here's the deal. You want to get yourself a good primer. Okay, long story short. I try to tell my truth about a lot of things. Oh gosh, let's see. You'll be 60 soon. I love 60 sounds fun, honestly. 60 I feel like is like the freest, I'm assuming. So go be free. Run like the wind, man. Okay. Just because of your age. Just tell them to eat a bag. Okay. Channel your inner Amanda. You know how I can get. All right, so I'm taking Milk Hydro Grip. There's a lot of really good primers. I like one that has some stick to it. Okay. There is ageism out there. It happens with me a lot. I get underestimated a lot. I'm just gonna really tear myself apart for a hot minute, but I'm basing this off of the way I get treated by people. It's mainly by women, not men. It's mainly by women who think they're a lot more older than I am than they are. A lot of people don't know that I'm 44 in my community. Because I have an 8 and a 10-year-old, they assume I'm a little bit younger, and maybe I look a little bit younger. I don't know. I think I look like I'm in my 40s. I get treated like I'm stupid a lot. It's just how it is. If my hair is curly, I get treated even dumber. Like, it's just how it is. But the way, if I go to, good, I look 46, honestly, thank you. The way I look with my makeup on, I feel like I look a little bit younger, but I do feel like I look like I'm in my 40s. I don't know if you were trying to insult me or not, but if you were, yay, I don't know. Because I am who I am and women are the women the way we are. We never know if a comment like that is supposed to be insulting. So I get treated like I'm stupid a lot. I get, the things that I say don't hold a lot of weight in a important conversation. And that's with some men, but also women who understand this. Luca. Texts or comments are all a matter of perception. What you put out may not be what somebody reads. It's hard. I never said I was ugly. I'm just saying the way that things go. So I'm on a board for something in my community. And as a board member, the things I have to say don't hold weight and get passed off very easily or dismissed very easily. I get a lot of, and it's an ageism thing. I'm used to it, but I do get my trigger tripped a bit about it. Ageism is a thing, and it's good and bad in all kinds of different aspects. I hate it so much. We're gonna clean a brush real quick, and I'm gonna dive into makeup and not talking about ageism now. Because I'm getting all of the sad things. All right. Anyways, we're going to go in. I'm going to use a powder brush. It's just my go-to when it comes to traditional makeup, but I have been trying the detail brush, and I do prefer this one a little more. I just like the small end of the detail brush with traditional makeup. All right, we're going to be using these two foundations. I love Beauty Society foundation. It's a lighter coverage, so I do like my full coverage. And then I'm going to be using the Catrice. This is an HD. This is supposed to be, it's $10 on Amazon. So it was easy for me to try it. I have a hard time trying foundations I know I'm not going to love that are expensive, like the Double Wear by Estee Lauder. I want to get it. The price point is just a little much for me. This is $38. This was $10. I don't know what Estee Lauder is, but I also got this at 60% off, which is why I tried it. Okay. This is a mattifying water and sweat proof with niacinamide in it. This has a lot of anti-aging. This is a oil-free, age-reversing foundation. Beauty Society has skincare in it, which is great. Okay, now, I am married. Okay, this is what I want to say. What I have noticed when I use a mattifying foundation, this was something that had me constantly trying new makeup. I've got my stuff. So I have scarring, hyperpigmentation. This is just getting a little deeper. These are coming in a little darker. I don't know if my camera's a bit dirty. We want to make sure that's good and clean. But I have my stuff, and I like full coverage. I don't like that when you pick full coverage makeup, that you have to have a trade-off. You get the coverage, you get the balance that you're looking for. However, you're trading that for texture. You're going to get that crepiness. It's going to crack along your smile lines. It's going to settle into pores, accentuate your pores. It's going to make you look really dry, and it's going to make your skin itself look older. All right. And so I was always looking for the next best thing, and I didn't know what it was until I tried cream, and I realized it was hydration. I wanted my skin to look hydrated, and I wanted it to look like skin that was true to what my skin actually looked like. But I didn't want cracking, and so cream was the natural next best thing. I took a long time. I used Saint. I've been using Saint for 5 years, and I still hands down love it the most. That's why I still share about it. But then I tried Perfect 10, and I found a foundation that acts like a cream. And so if you have maturing skin, but you love liquid foundation, I really like Perfect 10. I do like the Charlotte Tilbury also. It's another really good option. It's very creamy. Beautiful Skin Foundation is another really good option. I do recommend getting matched by a person, okay? So I'm gonna put these both on. I'm gonna do Perfect 10 first. You don't have to turn your whole face one color to get the results you want. I will be hybriding these with Saint, and I'm gonna hybrid this with Saint, and I'm gonna keep this fully traditional so you can see what I'm talking about when I do things. All right, I'm gonna go in on this end with the Perfect 10. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna keep it from basically, I'm gonna go up under my eyes just a little bit for some darkness correction, but I'm gonna keep it all down here. I'm not gonna bring it up my forehead. And it's because we don't need to do that with foundation anymore. And we bring this down our neck just to give it cohesivity. But you want a foundation that's going to live with your skin. When you plop on a big old thick thing and it doesn't match, please don't judge anything till your makeup's on. Don't judge anything until your makeup's on, because sometimes I have had so many people be like, that looks terrible. Well, I'm not done. But as you blend it out, I get this really pretty balance that I like, but it's not gonna get dry, powdery, and all that, okay? If any of my regulars can pop in, that would be great. This is about that time where we need to do that. But we're gonna bring this down and around, and it gives me really great coverage and balance over my scarring, but I don't worry about overdoing it. I bring this up and under my eyes, but not to my waterline. I let that eyeshadow stay where it is and I don't push it off. But I'm pulling upward to give some lift, but this gives me good balance, and again, I bring it down my neck, okay? And I'm gonna push this a little bit up on my nose, but I find that this doesn't set, and it has a really nice hydrating feel, and I want my makeup to be moving with my skin, because as we mature, our skin is moving, and we have smiling, we've got faces and lines when our faces move. I have filler, I don't have filler, so I have my lines here. I want makeup that's gonna work with the movement of my face, because my face, it moves more than most of the makeup people I see out there that are viral, if you will, okay? And so when you're doing this and you're picking your makeup, within a couple of hours, I was noticing I would crack, I would gather and cake, crepe, crack, and it would separate, and it would come together when my skin stopped doing the things it was doing, okay? And so, thank you. Thank you, Luann. I'm gonna take Incognito next because I wanna stick with these products on this brush before I dive into the next thing. All right, Incognito has anti-aging in it. If you have skincare and you want more skincare help, using a makeup that has skincare infused is gonna help you maintain your skincare. It's not to replace your skincare, it's not going to improve your skin, but it will help maintain it rather than work against it, which I'm going to talk about next. So with my concealer, I always go a little bit lighter than my skin, and I'm going to go right here into the trough and below and up. And then I get right here on this inner corner. I prefer Incognito over Tarte, hands down. I don't crepe, but I also bring it down right here over my scarring and down into my smile line. It's gonna give me lift. Lightness gives lift. What I notice is I can't do this with Tarte because it's gonna crack and settle and crepe, and it almost separates and looks funky. That's the best way I can describe it. Okay. Bare Minerals. Okay, this was one of my things I noticed when I first started doing Saint. Bare Minerals was probably the hardest sell for me because what you get, I used to use Bare Minerals. I used to put liquid foundation on. This is probably why I made that trade-off. I got all the balance I wanted, but I had a trade-off if I had really cakey, thick makeup that had a lot of texture. And with Bare Minerals, I would put on liquid foundation, concealer, and then I would take a Bare Minerals powder, which is meant to be a foundation powder, and that's what I would use to set my face. And then I would go in and restructure my face, and then I would bake. It was so many layers. All right, we're gonna use this end of the brush. You can use either one, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna tap out my brightening, and I always go over my lip because I have scarring under my lip. Okay. Oh, Olive Branch is a very, very popular skincare right now. The ones I've noticed, Ramon and Olive Tree, when it comes to like the MLMs out there, I use Beauty Society, but those ones are really, really popular. I picked mine because I was talking to my friend. This was something that happened last night, and I shared it, and people didn't like the way I was sharing her picture. People who expect powder, oh, that's what I was saying. Sorry, I get sidetracked so easily. Bare Minerals customers, once they put a cream on, they've been so used to a matte foundation that when they go to cream, it's very hard. It's a hard transition to make. And it's kind of like going from low-rise skinny jeans to boot cut high-rise. It's something you got to get adjusted to seeing. I'm still adjusting. I miss the skinny jeans. I don't miss the low-rise. Holy guacamole, oh my gosh. Muffin Top Central. But I'm having such a hard time still with anything else. I always pat out my foundation or my concealer, okay? Olive Branch. Oh, I'm thinking of Olive Tree. I'm thinking of Olive Tree. Thank you. I haven't heard of olive branch. Maybe I have. I feel like I'm seeing something in my head, but I could be wrong. But the way I press this out, it's not adding a super heavy texture, and I get decent coverage. I'm gonna be putting blush on and everything, but I like to get in, and when I smile, I don't want it to crack apart. This is a big crack I gather right here with other makeups, but I have broken capillaries and redness in this area, so I do like to conceal it, and I like brightening to come down on this area of my face. All right, we're gonna go into a more traditional makeup now, and I wanna talk about it. So we're gonna use Catrice, because I have it. I'm gonna shake it up because it has been a little bit. And we're gonna use Tarte Ultra Creamy as the concealer. And I might get my old makeup bag out with what I used to put over here. I just want you to keep this in mind. When we were doing our makeup before, creams were like this big popular thing, which there's a reason why everybody loves these damn creams. They sit well with the skin. And having a higher pitch, it just depends on what you want. You can have stick foundations. I have Beauty Society, but I gave it to my daughter. My 10-year-old has it because she has a really bad scar right here from an eczema breakout. And so she does it to balance out the red on it from the scar. Anyways, if you like light coverage and you want that cream finish, Beauty Society is a really great option for that. But there's other stick ones out there. Merit is a light coverage, my opinion, and Dibs also a light coverage. I would say Hourglass, this one, triangle one, that one's a little bit more of a medium coverage, but you're never going to get the pigment you get with Saint. There is no other cream out there that has 80% pigment. Okay. It is really, really nice. It's so creamy. If there's anything, like if you just, yeah, I'm using shade 2, if that helps. But do you see how when you put a foundation on, this is why one of the things I like about Saint is everything is foundational coverage. I like using 3 highlights if I want to do the whole over. I just posted this video over the weekend, I think, using a darker shade over your stuff, pimples, scars. You put a darker shade on, like a summer shade, then you could balance with your skin tone, and then you can put a brighter shade on, and then you mix it together, and you're able to get that foundation you want. And say just even this area, you can cover and you can balance and then have that dimension with just a foundation, whereas this is very matte and can also make us look more washed out than we are because we've pushed away the dimension and the undertones and colors. Okay, so a lot of these colors give us that dimension, and this just washed it out of it, which we're going to do now. So I'm taking Catrice. Sorry, it has a little squisher thingy, and I'm just trying to kind of get the stuff all done. So we're going to put a couple of drops on it, and we're going to go over. Again, I do prefer Saint, but you see it's a pretty similar tone. I had to self-match because, again, this is from Amazon. This is going to be a full coverage. And one of the things that I notice is when you're working with a full coverage foundation that's going to be mattifying, it's going to stay all day, my skin already feels the heaviness. Like it feels very, almost like custard. That's probably a really bad comparison. It smells pretty good. I'm going to bring this down the neck. It's hard to self-match online, I will tell you that. So if you can talk to somebody, do talk to somebody. But this does give a decent finish, but the longer I wore it, or will wear it, it powders out. It has a powder finish. It has fuller coverage. And it's not gonna, I don't judge anything until we get all the makeup on, okay? And I'm gonna keep this the same. But nobody, when you see somebody comparing a side to side, pay attention to how they're applying it. Pay attention to when you see somebody just slapping and smearing the bad side on. It's like, that looks bad because you wanted it to look bad. I want this to look good. But here's the thing that got me with always, like, it feels like powder now. This feels really dry. I wish you could feel it, but it feels really dry, but it does feel heavy, whereas this feels really hydrating. You could see just by the light, okay? So I got that on. Didn't need to work as hard because it's a very full coverage. Okay. Multiple colors the same. Yes, it is also $16. You're not going to get 80% pigmentation for under $20 anywhere. No, I mean, Hourglass for me seemed like the best coverage, the higher, the more of the 40% pigmentation they talk about. When you're talking about other cream, Fenty, and those things, it says double the pigmentation, which puts it at about 40%, which is half of Saint. You're still paying a hefty price. I want to say that was $40-something, which is why it's up making it hard for me to want to buy Estee Lauder. I mean, how many expensive foundations should I have to buy before I just say, is it worth my time and money? What is my, anyway. All right. So we're going to take Tarte. This is a very popular Tarte right now. It's the creamy. I still find that it creases in my, I have fine lines. Okay. I get the fine lines under my eyes. Once you start adding makeup, sometimes it can look less, but I'm going to put it on exactly the same as the other stuff. But I'm going to come right down here. Okay. I'm going to go up into this inner corner here, into that trough, but outside of that trough. And then I'm going to go right here, get that scar, and then up in here. This side of my forehead has more lines than this side of my forehead. I don't know why. Okay. So I'm not going to put it directly in this area because it will just, I guess for the sake, I'm going to wash my face after this. So we're just going to do it for the sake of doing it. I'm going to go right into the smile line for lift. Brightness pulls out and darkness pulls in. Does that make sense? That should make sense. We are learning today. All right, we're going to take this brush and I'm just going to press it out. You have to move quickly when you're working with Tarte. Incognito, not so much. It's going to set and be hard to blend out. And with that being said, you can't reset this makeup. So if you notice it cracking and gathering, over here, I can press it back out. You can with Saint, you can with Incognito, and with Perfect 10, and with their sticks. You can reset it. But the longer this side sits, the harder it is for it to blend. It's going to start to set. It's going to start to stick. It'll be really hard to blend out. And I'm so chatty, which is why now it feels almost sticky. It's hard to figure out how I want to do my nose because you can't really do two lines with the nose. But do you see how much heavier this side looks? And I tried my dangest to make it similar. I'm just going to sweep over my nose. All right. It was driving me nuts. But do you see the heaviness? And I didn't put more or less on. I never use beauty filters when I'm doing my videos. I don't even know if I could, but even if I could, I just don't. It's just when you're sharing a product that's skin related, you shouldn't be putting on a beauty filter. But this side is quite matte, whereas this side still has that nice dewy finish. Making sense right now? I hope I'm making sense right now. Let me see what, oh, I see it. You're gonna see my messy room for a minute. My husband's getting after me, and I'm totally business on top and not on the bottom. I'm in my sweats on the bottom, but I thought, for you guys, I'll wear this. Okay, I was also running out of time. We're gonna go into my old makeup bag, okay? I won't use my old foundations and concealers, but I'll go and grab my old Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, okay? And this is how I used to contour on this side. I have to sit on my feet. I don't know why. I'm just gotta be casual. I'm gonna take a shape, a shape brush. Something just went in. The universe is saying, don't do that. So this is what I used to use. This was a, oh, sorry. This is the contour you would buy all these colors. You had to buy this whole palette. And I used one. I used this one. This was my contour. You can see I hit 10. And then I would use this one here. It has some illuminator in it. That's what I would use to make me look dewy. All right, I wonder if I have my old brush, and I'll just clean it real quick. Most of your time is spent digging through a bag. Did you know that 70% of the time, oh God, I don't want to use that. We're gonna use this brush. No, I'll just use my shape brush. Those all look nasty. Okay, I'm gonna take my shape brush and I'm gonna contour my face. So we're gonna go into my favorite contour color because it's a powder. Here's the thing about powders. No matter what, good morning everybody that's making it. No matter what you do, I don't care what you say, powder will always change the consistency of something. Always. So no matter what you're doing, if you're putting a powder on your makeup, you will be changing the consistency that's on your face. you will be adding a texture of powder on there, which can enhance maturing skin, okay? But over here is my more traditional, but I am not trying to make it look bad. That's what bothered me and made me want to do that. I was like, I'm going to do this on my live because I know it's going to be long. My lives are fun and engaged. Like, I love my lives on Monday because we can accomplish so much, and the people that are here for it. Okay, so we're going to take this powder. What color is this? I wonder if it has like a, I don't even know. Hell, I have no damn idea. I wish they put the colors in here. So you used to be able to just buy the individual pieces so you could pop out what you're done with and put it in, but you had to buy initially everything in here. And I just never really dug into these. So we're gonna go in and I'm using a super light hand because when you add powders, it's so hard. And so you can put this on. And again, I've never thought my makeup, I love the ritual of doing makeup. And I always swirl right here. I've never been a big, I don't know, I'm just a bronzer in the summer, really. Okay, so I'm bringing this down. It looks great, okay? And I think for keeping this in mind, when you watch somebody doing their makeup and they're comparing, if they're trying to make one side look really pretty and they're haphazardly on this side, pay attention to that. I just find it, somebody told me I was misleading in a post I shared yesterday in my Facebook group when I was really just introducing somebody who brought me to Beauty Society. I was sharing like, this is the face. This is the person that made me change my mind about skincare. This is the person that told me it isn't about, you don't have to get peels and you don't have to get lasers. You don't have to do all those facials to go and get the improvement you want. It can just be skincare. And that was one of the things that I shared with her. And maybe I need to just share the conversation I had with her first. I did ask if I could, and she said yes, because it is a very personal thing for her. But she has an autoimmune disorder. So her daughters who are in the cosmetic industry refuse to put these chemicals on her face because she has autoimmune. Her skin changed based off of Beauty Society alone. And I watched her quietly on Instagram stories over a year, and I saw her skin changing. I was talking to one of my girlfriends because I went with my friend Stephanie to a conference for Saint, and this gal who introduced me to Beauty Society used to be a Saint artist. Then she started using Beauty Society, said she'd never leave Saint makeup, but then she tried Beauty Society makeup and she wasn't needing that 80% pigmentation because her skin improved so much. Anyways, I had been watching her for a while, and I asked my friend Stephanie, I'm like, is she doing something else? She's like, you got to ask her. So I did. And she was really honest with me about her why she doesn't. And I decided to share her yesterday, and somebody was like, I just don't think this is the best representation. She uses both the makeup and the skincare, and both of them together are great skincare. And it just tripped my trigger because I wanted to show why. Then after that, I saw this lady just making traditional makeup look like trash when it's not. All makeup is fun and beautiful. You should never, but the way she was just like smearing things on, I was like, no, placement matters. She was winging and doing this kind of method and then smearing dark all around her eye and making it look smaller. And I was just like, be better. Be better. You can still show things both in a beautiful way and it still looks good. So I'm just taking this contour, and it's so hard to go to powder. It's sticking. It feels a little splotchy, but applying your contour, it's so hard going. It doesn't, I don't know if it looks bad or not, but I did always love, I feel like it's really, really uneven over here. I wish you could see what I'm seeing, like right in this area. Here it's not, like when I'm in the mirror, and my mirror's arm's length away. You're like 6 inches farther away than my mirror is. Right in this area, it's just not as, okay. All right, so we're gonna add that. I'm gonna go in with that contour again, and I'm just gonna contour the side of my nose. Now, when you're using a powder contour on your nose, I can't control it the same way I can the creams. So we're gonna kind of get an idea of that. I'm not gonna add a concealer to my nose, like of either brand, because I just don't feel like the nose is the right representation, but I can with the contouring. Okay. And so, hold on just a second. All right. with my, that was, okay, so yes, okay, so finding a powder was too much, especially with maturing skin. Exactly right. So I'm going to add a little bit. I'm trying to look here. I think I used this one. This one looks more like a bronzer, so this was cool. This is more brown. I never touched this one. So we're gonna grab this and we're gonna add a little bit of bronzer. This just adds just a touch of warmth. And you always, okay. I do my brows last. Okay, we're gonna put this back. And I'm gonna go in my detail brush and I'm gonna hybrid with Saint because I do prefer this with Saint. I have a contour somewhere that I've been using. Here it is. I've just been dipping into this bad boy the last couple days using 3 colors over my scarring and hyperpigmentation, beard of my face, highlight zones, and then this contour. It needs to get melted in a big bad way, but I have not had time. I have not had time. Life has been hard. Okay, life has been busy, not hard. I'm a bit dramatic. Okay, we're gonna take that contour and I am going to, do you see that pigmentation? I couldn't get my powder to do that, but it still looks really nice, but it's easy to work with. You can move it where you need to move it, and it's gonna live with my fine lines and my wrinkles so nicely, okay? So I'm gonna grab some more, and I'm gonna go above that shadow right there. And this is gonna work with my hyperpigmentation. It's gonna work with my scarring right down into here. And it just goes on a lot smoother and a lot nicer. But again, it's also giving me coverage. I feel like laying Saint on top of the Perfect 10 and the Incognito holds it better than it laying on top of a cream too. So if you are wanting longevity, and I think that the finish on this is really, really pretty. If you have very high texture under your eyes, I would still recommend either the Demi line or a Saint cream over any concealer. It just lays better. Do you see this over here? Okay. We're gonna go into some bronzer. Oh wait, I need to contour my schnoz. We are going to do the same thing, drawing that line, blending it down. You just get to move it a lot better. Did you hear that rain? Tell me here, it's Oregon. Spring. I feel like this is the wettest spring. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna grab some bronzer. In my little palette here, I'm gonna go into Bella Bronzer using that same brush, and we're just gonna add, you just get a warmer finish. A warmer finish, higher pigmentation. Look at how pretty that is. Do you see how that just warms things up really, really nice? Oh, good stuff, okay? All right, good stinking stuff. Okay, let's find a blush. I tell you what, I love keeping my old makeup because it gives you a real representation of, like, your brushes look like crap after just, and I don't even use this all the time. Like, they just start looking like garbage when they're just laying in a bag with old makeup. Where the French toast, biscuits and gravy. Ew, this is sticky. Look at that. Blush. So I used Bare Minerals. This was called the French Toast. All right. How does this open? I used it a lot. Okay. So there's that. Going into that shape brush again. And I'm going to go into that pink. And I am going to smile and put my blush on. I'm trying to put it on in the same place. Again, I'm not trying to make this look bad, okay? Yes, another love about saying no bag digging. You know, I don't want to say that that's not true. I don't think that's true though, because our makeup itself is all in the palette, but we do still kind of dig through a bag. But I tell you what, I went on a cruise once and I just took my bag and dumped it all over the bed. It was before Saint. And that was the easiest way for me to find everything, was to just pour my bag out over the bed. And then I had to start using a towel because makeup, powder makeup was everywhere. And that was something I remember. So I'm just taking this French Kiss and just bringing it up. I've always liked pinks, obviously. You can't even tell I'm wearing green on my eyes. Okay. And then you could even take this and probably just put a little pink on. Although if you haven't gotten the Cozy Up collection, you're missing out. It's good. I think we have another month with it. It's so, so good. So good. Okay, here's the deal. The blush is good. I look really, sometimes I have such a hard time because I can see, oh, I can't wait to zoom in. All right, I'm going to take my Daylily. I use Frenchie in the summer, Daylily in the winter. I'm gonna go over my scarring here. And then I'm gonna go to another pink, pretty similar. And I'm gonna come up here with it. I'm gonna take this brush and we're gonna go around. I'm trying to keep my Beauty Society brush with Beauty Society, and then I prefer hybriding with Saint because it's cream, highly pigmented, and it's gonna help with coverage. And then I'm just gonna take this little end and I'm just gonna pull, 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 pull. But, I mean, they're not far off from each other. They really aren't. I do have some eyeliner right here. Let's do a couple of things just to really get it. There we go. Okay. Stand by. Let's add some brows. We're gonna grab a line brush. I'm just gonna go into Trust. We're gonna pop these brows on, and I just wanna go in. I'm just kind of letting this makeup set at this point. We're gonna add some lip, we're gonna add some brows, and I'm letting my makeup live and set on my skin. It's raining over here in California. Good. I had somebody tell me that their daughter was sending them messages from Oregon and that they're jealous. I'm like, of what? It's pouring. It is pouring. It's cats and dogs here. I just dug out all the dirt from our garden table, and it started raining, and I'm just so glad. I'm hoping that the freezing is done here because I want to get our garden table going. I'm just waiting for some decent weather, but I got a Girl Scout camp out this weekend, so it's not going to be this weekend for sure. But this is where I'm not home for Easter this year. We're getting ready for the Boston Marathon, and I already have my reservations at my favorite restaurant. If anybody is from the Boston area, please tell me what to do for Easter. It doesn't look like the Commons, and we'll be close to the Commons. If anybody's familiar with Boston, about egg hunts, my daughters are having a really hard time. Tennessee. I went to, you had a tornado warning. There was a tornado east of us. Wild. Like Friday, there was a tornado. We never have tornadoes. We had a hurricane off the coast, but we don't freak out about hurricanes here. Our trees are built for hurricanes. We do have to do some roof work on our house, but that's every year. All right, we don't get too attached to the shingles on our roof. We just try to stay out of their way when we take the dog outside. But, yeah. Anyways, I feel a cough coming on. I swear, I don't know if it's bronchitis or acid reflux. Or all the powder I'm putting on my face. Oh boy. All right. So I've got these eyebrows on, and oh boy. Sorry guys. If I had a cough, I should keep cough drops here. I've been thinking about all the things I should be keeping in my car. I'm gonna eat a Andy's Mint. I hope that helps. Okay. We're gonna do our lips. I could not contour my lips with powders. Always looked so bad. So we're not going to do it at all today. But if you're using a cream stick and Beauty Society, I have 2 Beauty Society contours now. Somebody said they were surprised that I thought Soul was warm. You're watching while you're cleaning your room. Good job. I didn't do that. So I find this to be really warm. Somebody found it to be cool, which I think it's all about your skin. But I did just get another one called Java, because I had enough to get a free one. And this one reminded me of Indigo, but it's a little bit more cool tone. I do really like it. And it doesn't pull things through the way Indigo does for me. It's really good, but low pigmentation still. But these 2 contours are so, if you're looking for a good cream one. But again, they're in the 30s. I want to say they're $32. Definitely warm, right? Definitely warm. But I do also think your skin plays a big part into that a little bit too. Like, what's that one called? Soul really pulls me to the Oompa Loompa. Both sides look pretty damn good. Okay, let's put on some lip. I'm gonna use my favorite lip combo lately. I think I dropped the pencil. I heard something fall yesterday while I was doing my makeup, and it might be that pencil. It made a tink, 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 tink noise. Biscuits and gravy. Hold on, let me look at one more spot. Just making sure. You know, pencils are a funny thing. Well, whew, it was the Wherever Walnut. Love that color. Love that color. I think I have it in a too small to use pencil here. I love Wherever Walnut by Makeup Forever, but I have a full-size one and I'm scared. I don't know where it went. I thought I heard it fall, but I'm not. Anyway, we don't need to waste our time with that right now. But I will. Oh, frack. I said fur back. Okay. Okay. We're not going to be able to use this because I just wrecked it. Dang it. I need a new sharpener. I've never had a good pencil sharpener. So we're going to use, son of a bunch of things. Oh, we're going to use contour. I'm going to use, what color is this? Olive? I need glasses on. Olive with the new endpoint. Who got the endpoint? I'm going to line my lips with a contour. You could use your bronzer, contour, whatever. Okay. I am curious who can tell a difference from side to side. Who? All right. You can make any makeup look good. Oh, I love that I've let this makeup set. This makes me feel very good. Okay. I'm gonna go into a Beauty Society. If anybody does Beauty Society, there was a Valentine's Day lip kit and they gave this color called Smitten. It's such a, this is what I like about lipsticks. It reminds me of MAC, but better. So I just go here, rub it together, but it gives this awful, so you just take a finger and you buff it out and it takes all that texture away. But with that contour, it's so pretty. And it's a nice neutral lip. Then you can take, oh, I'm gonna take this color. This is Chai. This is one of Saint's lip oils. And it's scented, not flavored. Just go over it. Any one of the lip oils will work. It's just a matter of preference on smell because I think they all look the same. I like marshmallow, cocoa, and chai. Those are my favorites. Okay. I need to throw this away. It's driving me nuts. Hold on. Ew. All right. Sorry. I need a new chair. Okay. The Beauty Society is really pretty. The other side is just okay. Just wait, there's more. I haven't even set it with powder. Do you see this? This is just after me doing my brows and lips. Do you see that? I don't know if that's too zoomed in. It makes it, because to me it looks a little blurry. Do you see this? Do you see that? That was a deal breaker right here for me because this is just after a little bit of time. But this right here is a key example of what makes Tarte off for me. I have that crack here and it's not here. Do you see? Does that make sense? The under eyes, this has more coverage than the Incognito, okay? The Incognito, but there is, it's so hard because I don't want to over zoom because it makes it blurry. But right in this area, there is cracking and accentuating, but this side, so here, does that make sense? But look at the forehead. Let's see. This side is always a deep one for me, but I'm able to just press it back out and understanding a line and a crack. But do you see this versus this? This is the biggest one right here. But then I also want you to look in this area here. I'm trying to, is it too zoomed in? You can really see the, don't pay attention to this. This is texture. I can't do anything about that. That has nothing to do with makeup. Texture is texture. Cream, liquid, powder, doesn't matter. If it bumps out, it's going to create a texture. But I have pores that are really accentuated around it. Whereas here, they're not accentuated. You can still see them, but they don't look like... Does that make sense? I hope it does, but my pores look more concentrated over here than anything. And then over on this area right here, can you tell? Can you see what I'm seeing? Because sometimes the camera can be forgiving. It can be forgiving. But over here, it has a nice skin-like texture. Over here, all of my little fine lines are accentuated, and then when it stops, okay? I'm gonna just stop harping on it. I think, here's the thing. Makeup should be fun, and the sun is kind of peeking through, can you tell? Okay, I'm gonna say this too. This looks more hydrated than this because this is powder, but do you see, it's pretty uneven, and to me, as the day wears and they start working differently, my oil is gonna start producing, and it's gonna overproduce because I'm using a mattifying, sweat-proof. And so what's gonna happen is I have oily skin. And this is something I notice. If you have dry skin, maybe you don't notice it as much, but it may give a totally different kind of texture. But over on this side, what happens is my oil wants to produce, but there's a heavy makeup on top that's trying to stop it. So this is what makes my pores almost stretch out like a collar, but it also is going to thicken the makeup in almost like a, I don't want to call it a pudding kind of way, but in a pudding kind of way. And so this is going to start to, I don't want to say break apart, but it almost is a break apart, muddying kind of way where the blush stops blushing and it just starts clumping. And I notice clumping here. I can't reset it. And at the end of the day, it looks more like I rubbed dirt on my face than it does that I did my makeup well in the morning. The way I walk in is not going to be the way that I walk out with my powder over my thick, heavy, mattifying foundation. So my oily skin is going to change the consistency of this over here. Whereas this side, I have more breathability. There's a more natural dewiness than this side over here. But do you see how it's already kind of breaking it apart? And then again, I have that cracking going on over here. Your skin moves. It should move. It's a living organ. And having a makeup that works with it is going to give you makeup walking out the door that you walked in the door with. If you need to do little touch-ups, pressing out, you should have a makeup where you can just sit at your desk, open up a thing, and just be like, I have to, if I was going out in the evening, if I was like when I first started dating my husband, I worked all day, he'd want to go out to eat, I'd have to go home, wash my face, and redo my makeup. I don't have to do that with this. I'm able to, do you see the definition on this cheek alone? Using something creamy has that movability, that blendability that works. Your contour works with the blush. Your bronzer works with the blush, with the contour. Over here, there was a contour, and then you put something over it to put, and it just it doesn't have the same consistency. It's splotchy. It doesn't look bad. I don't think either side necessarily looks bad, and I worked to look nice. And my face moves. I don't have Botox. I don't use filler. I don't have Restylane. I don't have a lip flip. I have all the face things. I don't have a beauty filter. What I'm saying is, if you can find a makeup that is going to work with your skin, use the makeup that works with your skin. Enjoy the process of your makeup and love your makeup and love the way you feel all day, because that's what we're wanting. I mean, if this is just how this looks after, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, what is this gonna look like in 3 hours? What is this gonna look like at 5 o'clock today? So knowing what your makeup looks like before you even get out the door is going to tell you what it could look like when you walk out the door at the end of your day. And just thinking about that, if you work where you talk to people, that's just what's important to me. I want to feel my best all the time. And so when I found a makeup that accentuated my cheeks without over accentuating my pores or over accentuating my fine lines, that's what worked for me. Your makeup, I hate when I see somebody slapping something on like crap to show you that this side looks good. You don't, it's like breaking someone down to make you look good. I'm not going to trash a makeup to make, I'm not going to trash a person to make me look good. I'm not going to trash a makeup to make another one look good. So slapping something on like crap just to be like, but look at this. Put work into both. And I thought this would be the right time to do that. I know it's one of my, I always do a long Monday. We already know that. But if you're wanting to try makeup that works with changing skin, if you're in your 30s and it doesn't look the same as it did in your 20s, which was my why. My 30s were rough. And I was always trying to get into a makeup that was going to still look good. Like, why doesn't my makeup look good anymore? It's because your skin isn't the same anymore. We're growing up. A lot of people don't get to be in their 30s. A lot of people don't get to be in their 40s or 50s, their 60s. A lot of people don't get to. Enjoy the change. Embrace the change and change with it. We got to change with our husbands. Why wouldn't we change with our skin? I'm not saying that's what I have to do right now. That's what I got to do right now. But your makeup cannot stay the same. You should always be learning new things to go with the things that are changing. Using different eyeshadow methods, doing different eyeliner methods, doing different lip methods. I mean, you used to love, you know, think about what you used to, I used to hate garbanzo beans. Now I love a garbanzo bean. There's your tastes change, okay? Yes, you should always be learning about makeup because trends change. Makeup changes. And when you can find something you can envelop yourself, like be excited to get up in the morning and have a cup of coffee and do your makeup. Like have fun with it. What am I wearing today? Oh, I'm gonna wear a pink shirt. Let's wear whatever eyeshadow we want. I've got green eyeliner on, I've got brown, I've got orange eyeshadow on. Now I'm gonna go grab a pink and I'm gonna pop that right up here. Boom. Have fun with your makeup. Have fun with your makeup. It does look a little muddy over here. But the thing is, if this was just by itself, this would still look beautiful. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I like this side better. Both look good. One just looks a little better. But you could still love both. There are tricks. I was just talking with a friend of mine about this because she was saying you can still love your makeup and love your foundation. You can still love your Estee Lauder and you can do things. You can still love Tarte's coverage because again, I do think there's more coverage over here than Incognito, but the Incognito looks like my skin more than Tarte does, and this is going to start to crepe and crack. There are things you can do if you're really into fancy name brands. Gucci has a great balm. So does Saint, and it's affordable. Lay a balm under that and it will be better. There are things you can do. I used to take Honest Company. They have a balm. Wonderful balm. You can get it at Target. And I would do my makeup like this. And then to give it that dewy look, I would just take a balm over it. And you know what's great? I used to share about this all the time when I was on Instagram 6 years ago. I would take the Honest Company balm and I would do my makeup. And then I took a picture. Do you see that? There's no balm on this side, but look what it just did. It gave that look of a cream makeup. Honest shared me on their page because it's such a good product that they didn't care that I was using all of these other makeups. I was using Bare Minerals on top of, what was I wearing? Urban Decay. I was using other products, but the balm made my makeup better. So they shared me on their page. It was awesome. Awesome. I was like, send me free stuff. They didn't. But there are things you can do with traditional makeup to make it look like the makeup you want. You're spending more on the foundations you're using and the powders you're using and having to buy a full palette of contours just to use one color. But there are things you can do. You can buy more products to make it look like this. This is such a pretty dewy finish. Korean skincare, I think, is lovely. I don't like that much shine. I did do a collagen mask last weekend, and oh boy, howdy, did I look dewy for days. A lot of people say wash your face. It won't. It did. It was one shine machine. I like a dewy finish, but I can bump to greasy really fast because I have oily skin. I think it's pretty uncommon for women in their mid to late 40s to be oily, because a lot of people tell me it's gonna dry. Well, great, I'll be happy when it does. But right now, I'm still a grease ball. Like, come on. I could prepare a cookie sheet with my face. So I'm just saying, there are things you can do to make makeup look better. You could also minimize the amount of product you use to get this look over here. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I really wanted to get on here and put the good work in to the traditional stuff, the powder contours, the powder blushes, and using a heavy mattifying stay all day. There are things you can do and put the work in and it still looks nice. Like this, again, looks nice. This just, I like it more. But it's also a matter of preference on what you want out of your makeup. Wear your makeup in the way that makes you feel your best. Because when you feel your best, you are your best self with other people. I don't wear my makeup for my husband. I wear my makeup to be my best self for my husband. Because if I'm not my best self, you know, this got me in the door. My charming personality kept me inside. And then I didn't need my makeup as much anymore. But I do like feeling my best around anybody around me. And I always tell my girls, because I have girls and they are watching me and they see me with all my makeup stuff. And they think, I want to make myself pretty like you. I didn't make myself pretty. I was already pretty. I just did things that I like that make me feel good. When I have breakouts, I want to cover it. That's my prerogative. How I want to cover it, also my prerogative. I could just cover this little zit here and go about my day. I could just cover my scarring and go about my day. Or I could zhuzh it all up and be my best self. And that's what I tell my girls. No one said without makeup somebody looks bad. That particular person just prefers wearing makeup. I will never walk up to somebody. I would never. And I don't know many people that would ever walk up to somebody who loves to be makeup free and say, you'd be a lot prettier with makeup on. Oh, if we just put a little foundation on you, you'd look a lot better. But I can tell you, hands down, I get more people that don't wear makeup telling me I'm pretty without it and I shouldn't have to wear it. It just happened a couple days ago. And I don't, as much as it's not necessary to tell somebody they need makeup, it's just as unnecessary to tell somebody with makeup they don't need it. If I didn't need it and I didn't think I needed it, I wouldn't wear it. But my makeup is for me. I spend my money on it, my body, my face, my choice. And so taking that into account when you have little girls watching you. And I always get this, and I get this typically, like my husband will never answer the question. You know, he knows better, where I just say, am I better without, am I pretty without makeup? And he's like, dear, you're pretty all the time. He'll never tell me. I do know. Men don't get this, and if there's any men here, I'm going to tell you this. When you like something, you compliment it. Like my husband doesn't like it when my hair is curly. He likes it when my hair is straight. So when my hair is straight, you know what he always says? You look nice today. Your hair looks really nice today. When my hair is curly, he doesn't say it looks bad, but he doesn't say anything. He also likes it better blonde. But that's it. That's my life. That's my high horse. I wanted to get on here and do two different kinds of traditional makeup because I always do cream makeup versus traditional. I wanted to do traditional to traditional, and it's really just trying different things and playing with it. If you have suggestions on what you would like to see on a live, since we do deep dive on it, I'd love to hear those suggestions. I don't know how many people on the replay will last this long, but that's it. I'm gonna go wash my face because, oh, I wish you could see my cheek. Look at that thing. Do you see that? Do you see? I have pores on both sides, but do you see when the light hits? Like, it's just accentuated. All right, another wonderful live. I love my people. I love you guys. You guys make Mondays beat Saturdays hands down. I have a hard time showing up for Society Saturdays. I'm not going to lie. I'm still getting into it. I have a hard time on Society Saturdays. Those are my hardest lives to show up for. I didn't show up last Saturday. I'm trying to think. I will not be here next Monday. Next Monday, the live is canceled. My daughter has her eye appointment and we have to leave at like 5 o'clock in the morning. It's far away. But so next Monday's live is canceled. If you have suggestions, I'm going to put in I'm just kind of curious who sees the thread. So I am going to put live suggestions for in 2 weeks. So next Monday is canceled. I have an appointment with my daughter, and yeah, have a great day.